Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Fernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are welcome in the essence. This broadcast, Brownstone, the light is contagious. But you need go on and receive it for yourself. Just open it, exuberant, evolution, exciting. We standing on the foundation of expression. You might have seen, you might have been, or you could have gravitated. Our foundation, we want to create a space for all to collaborate and be liberated from eventually all over the globe. And we are extending a hand to those who are an extension from maybe platforms, dig into another stratosphere. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Fernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. And that is MSG, the message in the message. I can OD on my execution of excellency. And this as a man right now, and things aren't created, but see true.
Welcome everybody to the night shift. Welcome. Y'all, I got my corn nuts in my little container. Okay. So ranch flavored corn nuts. 1 3 Musketeer, 1 Werther original, and I have 1 Rolo. You can roll a Rolo to your pal. Yeah. You want some snacks? Girl, get your snacks. Get your snacks. We at the kitchen table, honey. If I had a way for us all to get together and play spades together. Listen, do you love the page? Well, I appreciate that. This is my time, and I'm not gonna be smacking like that, right? I'm just every once in a while I'll dig in, but y'all, we got so much to cover tonight. We really, really do. So welcome to the neighborhood. If you are here, if you are watching, go ahead and share this with somebody. We're going to be covering the news. New here with a drink, cooking dinner. Because, baby, the week, what did you say? The week already, oh, listen. Right, it already is. What'd you say, girl smack? Yes, honey. It has been a week. I don't even know where to begin. But I feel like this is an episode of Scandal. What should we call it, y'all? Because this is an episode of Scandal all the way around. But we can't call it Scandal. We got to call it something else, right? We got to create our own songs. You sick of it all? That's how come I'm laughing. Checking in from Chicago. How you doing out there, Tatia? How are you? Yeah, don't do Scandal. So what we going to shambles? That's a good one. Good one. Shambles. What else are we going to call it, y'all? For real, it's got to be called The Files That Bad. Yes. So that's an episode out of the series called Shambles. The Files That Bad. That's what we going to call it. So if you're watching on the other platforms, if you're on Substack, if you're on YouTube, if you are on Meta, if you're on LinkedIn, if you're on Bigo, welcome to my TikTok family over here. Big love to you guys. We're going to go ahead and get started. You're trying to stay safe tonight. Oh my God, I can only imagine. So what I did was I went on ahead and I gathered up some information so that we could go ahead and get the news. The Toupee Files. That's a really good name. What if y'all, I have an idea. I mean, if we're gonna do, first of all, y'all like this little 2-piece I got on from the TikTok shop. 2-piece without the biscuit. I'm the biscuit. But anyway, too much going on. So what I did was I compiled everything into my little document, and I wanted to talk about Stephen Miller's glitch, and the Plenary Authority, what that means, so we can get a bigger picture of that, because we heard him say it, and some people were saying Of course, Michelle, welcome to the neighborhood. Yes. Hey, neighbor. Hey, Cheryl, come on in the room. Y'all get your snacks. Go. I got my corn nuts ready. I got my little Three Musketeers. I got my little snacks. I got my water. I'm good to go. Okay. And we're ready to rock and roll. Okay. So what I wanted to cover today was also we're in day 8 of the government shutdown. Yes, it was spin the top. Girl, who he was fooling? Who was he fooling? Did y'all see that? He did like this. He said, and the president has plenary authority, and that he kept talking, and all of a sudden he went. And then it just glitched. And the reporter was like, Steven, are you there? Heck yeah, he was there. That's like somebody on the other end of the phone. Is it cold weather? If so, please. He was sweating. Yeah, he was sweating. Please send it down south. I am in Georgia. The wind blew, and I pulled out this 2 piece. Let's talk about that, okay? That's all I need. That's all I need. Just a little bit, and we good. So we saw him blinking, and we saw him swaying, and then all of a sudden, it went to, and the reporter was sitting there talking to himself. But we didn't see that. We didn't see that. And like I said earlier, before we went live on all of the other platforms, y'all, it was like a Tyler Perry moment between Medea and Bam. You see us? Yes, I see you. You see me? Yeah, I see you. We sitting up in here looking like 2 big Barneys. We saw you, bro. We literally saw you. What are you doing? So let's talk about what plenary authority is and why he had to shut up real quick. I mean, because I can't think of nothing else that it was literally that at that very moment. And I thought, this is one absolute shit show. It's just too much. He done told on himself, did. Yes, he did. So plenary authority, let's talk about it. So he said under Title 10, the president has plenary authority, and then he froze. Let me do it again, because I still can't believe that he thought. Y'all know he had an earpiece in. He had to have, and somebody told him to shut up. He did. He is with his little bitty self. All right, so here's what we know. So CNN is calling it a technical glitch, y'all. He's so little, along with Peter Thiel. Yep, you are correct. But what Miller said before the cut sent legal analysts, journalists, and political folks like us into overdrive. We heard you, bro. We saw you. We saw you. Yes, I see you. You see me. I'm going to do a whole meme on that. Yes, I see you. He was blinking like, oh, shit. Oh, right? So let's talk about the term plenary authority. They think we stupid, Shanita. They do. They really, really do. It comes from the Latin word plenus, meaning full or complete. And in government language, it means absolute unqualified power within a specific area of control. So when he said the president had plenary authority under Title 10, he was claiming that the president holds total and unrestricted power to use the military inside U.S. borders, even over the objections of governors or federal courts. Yes, we can laugh about it, but we need to understand what he said, because a lot of people don't know what he said and they don't know why he froze. And yeah, he meant that, Bunny. He absolutely meant that. The United States of Beyonce, I love it, bruh. Someone was in his ear telling, yeah, shut the fuck up. Yeah. Why are they like this? Because this is a shit show. Welcome to the shit show. That's why. Seriously. So it's Not funny, yeah, at all, because he meant that, and he spoke. And let me tell you how we know he meant that. Did y'all see when he was talking to the military? Was it the military, or when he was talking to the police in Tennessee? And he meant every single word of that. This is the first time that little bitty man has ever had a sense of power. For real. And they're very open about it. It's the first, and they itching. When I tell you they itching, honey, I need to go on ahead and get them some calamine lotion. They itching so bad. Yeah, he meant that. Yeah, absolutely meant it. So it is a bold statement. First of all, let's talk about that, because under the Constitution, no presidential power is truly unlimited. Why is that, folks? Shall we say it together? Should be because of those three branches of government that we've been talking about. Yep, we're talking about Miller. Yep, we're talking about Miller, D. Murph resistance. Yes, we are. Yeah, I mean, because he itching. Just pour it all over him. Texas invaded Illinois today, so technically, I guess it's civil war again. I have no idea, Georgia. I really don't. His own family members are speaking out against him. Yep. And the thing is that Congress, the judiciary, and even state governments can place checks on executive authority. And that's not happening right now. Because remember, we're in the middle of a, not so much a hostile government takeover, we're in a government shutdown. Not Pee Wee Herman. He does look like Pee Wee Herman. Oh my God. Ooh. So let's talk about why the freeze mattered. No, it was not a glitch. It was not a freeze. Someone on TikTok reported the general of the Oregon National Guard said, we'll protect protesters. Good, excellent. And there are veterans who are starting to come out and say, a part of the National Guard, that are saying that they are protesting this as well. And we're talking about active National Guard. They're like, nah, we not going for this. We not going. So when he stared off into space like that, thinking that we didn't see him, he realized mid-sentence what he had done. You know what I mean? He was like, oh, you ever been in a room? Okay, I'm about to tell my business. So when I was in college, I lived in a roach-infested apartment. And you know how when you turn the lights on and the roaches just scatter, they freeze for a hot second, they go, doop, and then they scatter. That's how he was looking. That's how he was looking. He publicly asserted exactly what they believe Trump has. And we got a problem because of that. Of course, somebody was in his ear. You all know that too. And then CNN's control room might have actually stepped in too. But either way, you always, whenever you're interviewed like that on the fly, they stick something in your ear to tell you go or whatever. Okay. Now, what we really don't have is proof of intent, but he meant every word. I'm about to eat my first snack. He meant every word that he said. He meant that because he said it too easily. He didn't slip. He didn't spit. He didn't sputter. He meant that. He meant every word. And we need to take him seriously, right? Just like Kamala Harris is out here cussing. All bets are off. It's kind of like what she said today when I saw a video of her on her book tour. And she was like, what you mean? Playing nice. We got to stop playing nice is basically what she said. Who are we playing nice for? Like, what are we doing? So that glitch actually opened up a conversation about executive power and accountability. And ultimately, y'all, as I've said before, and I'll say it again with my whole full busted chest, whatever begins, ends, and we're watching it in real time. So I need us to start, while we're giggling and we're laughing and we're having snacks and we're talking about this stuff, I need us to be paying attention and taking note. You know what I mean? Like for real, for real, for real, for real. So if he really believed that he had plenary authority, you know, what would stop him from future abuses of power? Y'all ever thought about that? Because as it stands, this fool doing whatever the hell he wants. Let's talk about that. He is doing whatever he wants. I literally have my television on right now, and I am watching what is happening in Portland at this very moment. And people are angry. They're fired up. Stop Trump, save democracy. That's what I'm looking at right now. It's a sign that says, keep Portland weird. People are sick and freaking tired. And now I'm hearing this whole thing. What is this whole thing about the purple revolution or something like that, where the blue and the red supposed to be coming together? It's a whole lot I could say about that right now, but I'm not. We didn't have to be here. We didn't have to be here. We didn't have to be here. Correct? Oh, y'all just talking and I haven't seen it. There are thousands of Chicago marching right now. Word. Oh, snap. Now I saw it earlier, but there's still, I've got no time for people who still support him. Exactly. Like if you do, we can't be friends. We can't be friends. Hey, Miss T, how are you? Yep. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Mad if you did vote for it. All right, guys. Hey, Athena, that was wild to witness. Oh, I'm so glad that y'all are here. Thank goodness I watched your last night's night shift about the 3 branches as refresher. Good for you. Good for you. So y'all, hey neighbors, we have a neighbor over on YouTube right now. Thank you so much for communicating. I can see where you're coming from when you talk. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that part. So thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate that. So yeah, it is, yep, Chicago, we see what's happening. And so my daughter sent me video from what's happening in Texas right now. And helicopters are being flown in. She sent video from her phone above her apartment where she lives. And I thought, see, oh, the mother in me was like, see, I told, you could just come home. There's part of me like, you can still come home, baby, But yeah, she was showing me that. And she's like, I don't even want to go out anymore. I don't want to do anything. And she calls him. You're paying attention and actually listening? Yes, I'm on TikTok too at Paulette on the mic. Paulette on the mic, if you want to come and join us over there, because that's where the party at. We over here cutting up. Now, that's not to say for the rest of y'all that's on LinkedIn and all this other stuff, you can come over there too, but because I can see where you're coming from. But if you want to, Athena, definitely join us over on YouTube. I'm sorry, TikTok. We're over here right now. Yeah, she says she doesn't. And my daughter really loves to go and hang out and discover new things or whatever. She was like, Mother, I haven't even left the house in the past 2 weeks. She calls him Hot Wheels, the governor. She was like, Governor Hot Wheels, he owned one. So I was like, Hot Wheels, yes, Hot Wheels. Hey, Lulu, come on in. Welcome to the neighborhood. Welcome to the neighborhood. So what we're doing is we're talking about Plenary Authority and basically what that means. And so if you just want to get caught up, we were talking about Stephen Miller and the glitch, the infamous glitch seen round the world. Okay, so come on, sit down, get your water, get your snacks. I got snacks today. Okay. And she got the sauce. Welcome. Go on, get your snacks. Cause we're laughing in here. What you didn't say, Genesis, you didn't see the glitch when he was standing there talking about plenary authority, and he has absolute plenary authority. And then he realized what he said because somebody was telling him to shut up clearly. And he pretend froze, but clearly you didn't pass this in kindergarten where we could still see you behind the tree. Yeah, he's I'm gonna do a whole video on it because I still can't believe he did that. You saw the clip? Yeah. Hey, Athena, come on in, girl. We still saw it. Welcome to the neighborhood. I'm so glad you're over here. Welcome. So glad you're over here. So listen, if you close my eyes, they can't. That's who in the hell left the gate open? That's all I want to know. And that's from an old school, what was that? A BET commercial that used to come on early in the morning, like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. Who is he fooling? You just sitting up in here we didn't see that. We see you. We absolutely did. Now, let's move on and let's start talking about, because y'all know I'm giving myself an hour. I'm trying to be nice. It's always an hour and a half, but I'm trying to do better and taking care of myself. Now, a couple of other things that we definitely wanted to talk about outside of plenary authority. Now, we know exactly what that means, right? Plenary authority means full, absolute, without limitation. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. We need to pour some fire on that then. All right. So let's move on and let's start talking about the other one that I brought up. And we have to talk about, first of all, let's talk about what's happening in Chicago. He's calling for the arrest of 2 sitting elected officials. Let's see how well that goes over. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker and Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson. Now, he was on Truth Social. First of all, did you send a whole DM on Truth Social to Attorney General Smart Mouth Pam Bondi with her slick tongue? They ain't going. No, they ain't going. Listen, when I tell you they're telling on themselves, yes. So he got on Truth Social, according to my notes here, and claimed the 2 had failed to protect ICE officers. I'm sorry. Are these the same officers that kicked in doors and zip-tied children who were unclothed? Is that who we're talking about? Oh, okay. I listen. I don't even want to listen. Yeah. So there's rising tension surrounding these National Guard troops in Illinois. And it's a move that state and local leaders say is illegal and unconstitutional. And yes, they have tear gas protesters. Also a minister, but it doesn't matter if he was a minister or, honey, if he was frying chicken at Popeyes. He was a human being and you had no right to do that. They slammed 3 unarmed people Saturday in front of your house. See, come on, Tatty Face. Listen. And you all are on the ground. Y'all seeing it. And CPD is doing it too, right? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. His exact words are, they should be in jail. Governor Pritzker, according to my notes here, didn't mince words. He's firing back at Donald Trump, calling for the arrest of elected representatives checking his power. He warned that this kind of language is what the path to full-blown authoritarianism looks like. It's exactly what it is. Now, Mayor Brandon Johnson went further to say this is not the first time Trump has tried to have a black man unjustly arrested. Ooh. It's a whole lot I could say about that, but he's right. Yeah, they shot pepper spray in his head. I said, did you leave your government social media 24/7 watch video? I can't seem to find it. Oh, it's there. Hold on. Let me get my other phone. Because it's there. It's most definitely there. Ugh. Yep. And all I can hear in my head right now, is you a prophet or is you for profit? So I'm going over to my other phone. We're on, step 6. Oh, you know what? We actually did an entire, let's go ahead and pull that up as well. Hey there, come on in. The image of the minister getting pepper sprayed will be in history books for, absolutely it will. Is Kirby not the best? She is the business. Y'all hear me? Absolutely the business. She is telling it like a TI is. Yeah, it's still here. Hang on. It's still here. Surveillance program, and you need to know about it. Come on. Let's sit down. That's me. I know. I was. Yep. Government surveillance. Yep. It's there. It is at 1. And y'all, this is new to me. 1.6 million views. I mean, I get heavy views, but it's, you love it. Yes. Penny was amazing. I saw your clip on 24-hour surveillance and I fact checked it because it's always important to do that. Thank you. Yes. As do I. Let me tell you something that I don't do here. You thought it was a rubber bullet? Yeah, no. It was, he was hit with tear gas in the face. Here's something that you need to know about me. If I post it, it's because I researched it first. My reputation in journalism and in news reporting, I can't afford to do that cuz unless of course I've done my due diligence first. I always like to make sure that I am providing you all with, that's how come you don't see a bunch of stuff unless of course I have dug deep first. I don't care about being first with the news. I want to make sure that it's accurate news. Because fear mongering you all just for the sake of numbers is so not cool. So not cool. Diane, yeah, Nikki, PYRS, I watched. My only son was murdered by illegals in Memphis. And I'm so sorry to hear that, man, Mad, but that's not everybody. That's not everybody. And I really am sorry to hear that. I do hope that those people were prosecuted and something was done about that. Yep. And it's getting crazy in Chicago right now. You need help. Mr. Lou, Poppy, tell me what's going on. Let's talk about it. What's the tea for real? We really want to know. And then we're going to talk about the Posse Comitatus Act. Because it's important for us to talk about these things. Oh my God, today, y'all, it's been a day. I'm telling you. You're going to go check out Chicago. And as a matter of fact, I'm probably getting ready to do that right now. But let's talk about the roundtable. President Trump, I'm going to go ahead and pull that up. Thank you for that reminder. This dude is off the freaking chain. I need y'all to understand. Yeah, so we definitely need to know what's going on. Okay, so Texas troops landed. Yep. So my daughter sent me a video for that one. They've landed. And it's every day is a day. You can't keep up. Nope. Jan B, definitely, for sure. We'll be here. I'll be here for at least another hour. Yep. And we definitely need help spreading the word, giving information that is valid, fact-based, because I just can't. So according to Fox, I'm sorry, not Fox News, MSNBC right now, he hosted a roundtable at the White House today to hear from independent journalists who have experienced Antifa's violence firsthand. So here's what. For too long, Antifa has ravaged great American cities while ineffectual Democrat leaders turn a blind eye, and most in the media have gone right along with them. Thank you, Carol Sue. That's how come I went and shut down, because Antifa is not a group or an organization. Thank you, Carol Sue. How are you this evening? So let's go on ahead and dig a little bit deeper because, yeah, it's better for us to sit at this table, eat our snacks, drink our water, or whatever that you have. Thank you, Crush It. How are you? It is... Let's talk about this real quick. So Antifa is a short, let me see if I say this right. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's a short word for fascist. Okay. And it doesn't have any members. It doesn't have, you know what I mean? Like there's no membership. It's not an organization per se. You know what I'm saying? Right. Okay. So there we go. Exactly. We're all against fascism. Correct. So it's not an organization of people sitting in black closets and rooms holding entire meetings. No, that's not what it is. It's a loosely connected network of people with the same. Oh my Lord. I just got a caterpillar. I don't know what just happened, but I froze. Okay. Exactly. It's free for all. Thank you, Jenny Lou. I appreciate that. And it's a group of activists, then we must all be that then, because ultimately, whenever we come in this room in the neighborhood as neighbors, what do we say? How do we resist? What are we doing? It is like calling us woke. Exactly. When woke only means one thing. I am aware. And honey, we have been saying woke for so long in the Black community. Like they've just put that pendant on us. And really what y'all really saying is black. That's what you really want to say. That's your new N word. Okay. Yes, aware and loud. Absolutely. Against authoritarianism, Antifa, anti-fascist. Yep, it's just against fascism. That's all. That's it. So, um, it is a word that has some historical context. But what we believe, okay, because they say that we are, what do they say about Antifa? They say that we are terrorists. I find that so unusual. Anti-racist, anti-authoritarian, and anti-capitalist principles, opposition to fascism and white nationalism in any form. So then I guess we are all that, unless, of course, you believe in that stuff. Support for community defense. We've been talking about that. How have we been talking about that? We've been talking about shopping local, coming out of big box retailers. We've been sharing information about how we want to share other things, like what's that, Good Unite Us, and then it's the other one, it's Too Good to Go and stuff like that, right? So then I guess we're all that, but it's not like some secret organization. You know what I'm saying? And that's where people get that wrong. So it's not a domestic terrorist organization. That's first and foremost. It is not. It's the political rhetoric that they like to throw out as a part of the press. And we've talked about this too, right? Because I need you all to understand that anything that you are seeing and that you are watching over and over and over and over, listen very closely to me. When you are seeing something over and over repetitively, if you see it long enough, it becomes a part of your belief system. Now, this ain't nothing that I made up. I went to school for this. Okay? It's dead. I'm dead freaking serious about this. We actually did an entire podcast on the Rivalry Report about this and how public relations and the media has been used to propagandize what we're experiencing in this country. Well, I'm glad you're back, Weesha. Yep. And the networks are bought and made to distract us because they're told what to say, right? And we're witnessing that because this man can sue whoever he feels like it at any time to make billions of dollars. And the judges are just handing it over like, here, go ahead, cut him a check. And now going forward, you can't say this, you can't say that. And it's kind of sad. And that's why a lot of people have started to turn towards people like myself and others who are providing news and information, who are doing the research throughout the day, those kinds of things, to get the information that they're looking for. And ultimately, that's what it is. It's just another thing to distract from what's really going on and to put a bullseye on people. Exactly. I absolutely am. I am under Brownstone Worldwide. Neither do I. The only reason why it's on right now is because I was watching something on Portland and I just left it on. It's like my background noise. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And right, Tarsha, that did you see? I just ignored them because ain't nobody got time. You carry on. You carry on. If that's, it doesn't even. So here's the thing. What we're experiencing right now is somebody that is trying to sit down at a round table to decide whether or not a group of American citizens who live in this country and who recognize this administration for what it currently is, and we also recognize what our Democratic and Republican parties are or are not doing. We recognize what's going on and we're standing up for ourselves. So that makes us Antifa. Gotcha. Because there's no central funding within whatever we just share information. We go and these conspiracy theories are so deeply rooted that there are literally people that sit down and think that that it's a thing, and it's not. And it's absolutely hilarious to think that people believe that. Like, people have whole conversations. Hey, Antifa. What the hell? What the hell? Everyone that isn't racist is Antifa. All Antifa means is anti-fat. Exactly. Exactly. Old terms and the mislabeling them is a dog whistle. Exactly. Have you heard or seen anything about a Clarence Thomas statement against Trump? I have not, Pam Scott. But you're going to mess around and make me look it up. For real. Because that's what we do here. Yep. And I think what's happening right now is Antifa as well. We're seeing a lot more of that. Hey, Kate Rich. What's going on, girl? So Clarence Thomas got something to say about him? Oh, hell. We got to go ahead and look it up. See, it's happening. It's happening so fast that I can't even keep up sometimes. Seriously. I honestly don't see anything on it. I don't see anything. So this, is it recent? It was too little too late. Airports are canceling flights. So listen, let me tell y'all what I read right before I came on is O'Hare is talking about shutting down tomorrow. I appreciate you for being here, Nanurk. I appreciate all you guys, whether you're on all these other platforms over here, hey y'all, or if you're over here. Yeah. Yep. O'Hare. Because they don't have enough TSA completely. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The SCOTUS wife that flew the. When was this, Lulu? Oh, months ago. Yeah. So Kimberly, Kim. Yes, they're talking about it. Hundreds of flights are grounded. Just checking with you for knowledge. Oh yeah. I haven't seen anything, Pam, and my sources. I don't use like the regular news. Like I pay for extra stuff. Anybody can, but I pay for extra stuff, and there's access to other things out here. So when we get the news, it's given to us in feeds, and we can kind of go through it, and we kind of see stuff before it hits the regular news like AP or Reuters. That's how that happens. You're not going to work in this disaster? Yep. You want to see what that wife is up to? 1440. Oh my God. Now, what in the world is that? Listen, I've been busy today. So here's something else that we definitely want to talk about. We need to clarify what this is, because his excuse, I'm telling you what's happening. This guy wants everyone to believe that Antifa, and it's sad, y'all. So you could actually watch it live on the Hill. What you missed, Rebecca, they're talking about shutting down O'Hare tomorrow. On the 9th. Yeah. So he's taking, first of all, let's get back to this. He's taking aim at Antifa and the press in a White House roundtable. That's what everybody was talking about earlier today. What's wrong with these women at this damn table? Christy, Noam, Pam, Bondi, all of y'all look wild as hell. So anyway, so here's what they're talking about. A remarkable scene unfolded in the White House State Dining Room on Wednesday today, as the Trump administration convened a group of independent journalists and online commentators to share stories of violence at the hands of Antifa, an anti-fascist movement with no leadership or organization. Oh, at least y'all admitting that part. So Trump and top officials vowed to use the full weight of the federal government to bring down Antifa, compared it to major gangs and drug cartels. What? And who they've attacked with the U.S. military. They're making their case. Let's just go on ahead and just cut the shit. Let's just cut it, call it what it is. They're making their case. That's what's happening right now. They're making their case so they can go ahead and invoke what? The Insurrection Act of 1807. I must be. They're making their case. That's what this is. They got to make it look good. Yes, they are, D. Murph. That's exactly what's happening, Pam. And if they think that we're that stupid, like, I don't understand that. Exactly, Shell Bell. So he designated last month Antifa as a domestic terrorist organization. And the White House has yet to provide details about how it's going to crack down on it. How do you crack down on people who are just against a specific ideology? How do you do that? It's a horrible time to fly with all these airports canceling flights. Yeah, they do. They do think we're stupid, Carol. Yeah, they do. Yep. Mass surveillance, all this old foolishness seems to be what is happening was the real purpose of 2A. It's used to define a broad group of people whose political beliefs lean toward the left, often the far left, but do not conform with the Democratic Party platform. Unlike militant far-right groups like the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers, Antifa has never had a leader, nor is there a hierarchy or a command structure. It would be a violation of the First Amendment to prosecute all those who subscribe to anti-fascist ideology. While it is illegal to provide material support to groups designated by the government as foreign terrorist organizations, there is not an analogous law for domestic groups. It must be, and they'll be all right when the swelling go down. Tell them to come on in and set a spell with us for a little while. Tell them to pull up some water. This is water. Pull up some corn nuts. Exactly. The end result is to say, can't have safe elections, can't do this, elections can't be trusted. Yes. Tell them to pull up some corn nuts and have a snack with us. We got our snacks because we've been laughing in here today, right? Everything happens in America is happening in Britain and vice versa. Yeah. It's a culmination of energy that has to happen. And eventually, when that energy gets stirred up real good, what happens? Oh, yeah. All right. So here's something else that happened at this roundtable. So speaking during the roundtable, Trump said members of the group have been very threatening to people. Y'all ever threaten anybody? But we're going to be very threatening to them. I do wish they would have all moved to a private island and left us in peace. That's all right. They're going to go to an island, all right. And that includes the people that fund them. Probably some of the people I know, some of the people I died with, he continued. But if they do, they're in deep trouble. So we're going to be looking very strongly at the people that are funding these. What operations? The people that are getting ready for October 18th? That one? Come on now. FBI Director Kash Patel pledged that his bureau is not going to rest until we find every single seed money donor organization and funding mechanism that we have. Here is what I'm saying. I am saying this. How can you do that when there is no head? How you gonna do that when it really doesn't exist? It's just a name that you gave a group of folks that don't believe in what you believe in. Only operation I've got going is making quilts and keeping my head above, keeping your head above water. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, this is insanity. It's crazy. How can you pledge something? Can we say this together, y'all? Even during this government shutdown, these people are getting paid with your tax dollars. Can I say that again? Even during this government shutdown, these people are getting paid with your and my tax dollars. It is crazy because when you sit back and you think about it, and we just sat here together and we reiterated exactly what Antifa is and is not. How can you make Antifa a foreign terror organization when it doesn't exist? How y'all do that? No, Sylvia. By plenary authority. Exactly. Hold on, Cena. Wait a minute. Wait. By plenary authority. should do a whole dance. They think they say it. It's true. Yep. They think if they say it, it's true. Like facts don't matter. They'll make that. Which brings me back to my point. Again, when they say, see, here's the thing. They still think that they have enough base, right? That is going to believe everything that they say. Exactly. It exists only in MAGA minds only. It's not it's Delulu is what it is. It's not a democracy. Plenary authority is not. It is not. And the thing is unfortunately there's enough people out here where what they're doing with this roundtable at the end of the day is they're trying to make their case. That's all they're doing because they know what it is, and they think that enough people are going to believe that whatever they tell them, that we're, Antifa is a terrorist group and they're this and they're that and so forth, and they're here to hurt you and da 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 da. I never heard nobody except myself and that boyfriend I didn't want. Plenary, just like that, without a T, like plenty, plenary. Yep. Yeah, he let it slip. They're so excited. So he later indicated that he would be open to designating Antifa a foreign terror organization when asked, though a U.S. entity cannot be designated as a foreign terror organization. Does everybody agree? And the president quizzed top officials. If you agree, I agree. Let's get it done. Okay, Attorney General Pam Bondi compared the movement to the administration's effort to drug cartels. Fighting crime is more than just getting the bad guy off the street. So now everybody's criminals. Like, what? I don't understand. Like, help me to understand what's really happening. What's happening? I don't understand. So if they don't exist, what are you worried about? Same as what? Davis, honey, you got to be a bot. No pinata. We just gonna sit here and sway in the wind and blink our eyes. That's what we're gonna do. Right. To go after political opponents, but not just that, to go after the American people. And if they have enough words in their arsenal, and again, if they say it long enough, I'm reading y'all comments so fast, I'm trying to keep up. So here's the thing. I'll say it once, I'll say it again. If you say it long enough, people will believe it. Okay? If you say it long enough, people will believe it. And that's what they're hoping that is going to happen in this case. That's why we come here and we share information that we research and that we sit down together. And if it's something that I err on, y'all call me out because I don't have all the answers. Exactly. If it doesn't exist, why worry? But the problem is we're not the problem. Do you understand that part? If you say it long enough, folks like y'all gonna believe it. David and Sylvia, because folks believe it. Let me say this. If you're new here, you don't know. My career was made off of advertising and marketing and public relations. I have an MBA in advertising and marketing. This is what I do for a living, folks. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. People pay me to do this. Do you get it? So I'm not making this up. I know how this works. Some of the campaigns that are out there now that have been around maybe 10, 12 years, I helped design. I was a part of the team. I know how this works. Hey, Cox Strong, how are you? I know how this works. I know how they get you. I know how they tell you how wonderful Coca-Cola is and how refreshing it is. And if you say it long enough, you'll believe it. You want to know how many times a day that things need to be said in order for you to believe a thing? Per hour, 120 times. If you say it multiple times in different ways, you don't even know that you are being played with. I'm telling you what I know. Exactly. Just will it into existence with repetition. Think Pavlov's dog. Exactly. So much money on ads. So we're not talking to nobody that doesn't know what she's talking about. I know what I'm talking about, folks. It's how I make my living. And if it's unethical, I don't touch it. Period. Thank you, Hard Pass. But it's real out here, and that's all they're doing. Is if you say it long enough, you ever notice? And see, here's the thing. Let's talk about this. Let's dig a little bit deeper into this whole thing. Repetition creates a habit. It creates a habit in how you think and how you react, and it can also help you to form your reality. It is. I just think about that. Boy, y'all should have seen me. I was crying at the end. I was in tears at the end because I couldn't believe. Whew. I'm sitting here now having a whole flashback when I was doing my capstone, y'all. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm having a flashback literally like right now because of all the things that I learned at the end. You know what I mean? And it was heartbreaking and it was sad, but it also allowed me to understand the power of this sucker right here, the power of that tongue, the power of thought, the power of ideas, the power of putting things together and making it real, even when it is not. So let's put that in perspective. So it goes back to what we were talking about last night with PACs and super PACs, right? And we talked about how people with no money don't win elections because the PACs and the super PACs and the APACs and lobbyists and so forth, they're putting money in these people's pockets to pay for their advertising. And if you can't get in front of enough eyes, people don't know who you are. How many of you have re-voted for the same person because you remembered their damn name? D. Murph, that's what they're doing right now. How does it make you feel? If they can get you here, it don't have to make sense. Are you catching that, folks? And I don't mean to get ugly, but I need y'all to understand it doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't need to be logical. Get me right here. Make me remember how much they taken my American job and I can't get a goddamn job. Make me remember that. And how angry it makes me feel. Make me remember that. Cora, most people don't do that. Most people don't research. That's one of the things that we do here on the night shift is we research. He loves the poorly educated. Yes, he said that with his own mouth because he knows psychology. You think that his PR team don't know that? Exactly, Teddy Face. Make it make sense. Jobs they don't want and can't do. But if you say it the right way, if you word it just so, you can make anything be real. And you know what? I don't think it's about hate. It's the sadness of knowing that so many people were manipulated. Mm-hmm. Yeah, masters of manipulation. It does. Make it make sense. You can't. You can't. Hard pass. They really are power. They are. I remember being in class and reading things and going back and now people call me and they'll say, read this email for me before I send it. And I say, don't send that. Oh, Shelby, yes, he was. Narcissists seem to know. Yeah. And so the reason why I'm bringing this up, hey, Deals with Nia, how are you? Thank you so much for that. Listen, I need y'all to understand that this whole thing about fighting crime and all of that, this is all a game. They running game on y'all. They running game on the American people. This whole roundtable thing, let me explain something to y'all. That was semantics. That was an act. That was well planned and well played. They already know what they want to do. They just got to make y'all believe it. So turn the daggone cameras on and let y'all see everything. Most people are not taught to think critically. Exactly. Your critical thinking is a form of resistance, folks. I need you to understand that. Most want it easy, so they go along with the crowd, correct. And they go with how they feel. They're not thinking. And they're banking on us not thinking and not understanding that Antifa is not a group of folks with a ton of cash running around making decisions. And by asking that question, Dancing, whatever this administration says, whatever I say, no matter if you believe it or not, do your own due diligence for yourself. Exactly. Facts, not feelings. Facts, not feelings. Question everything. Absolutely. Everything. Come on now, Tatty Face. You better say it, not CNN either. Right? Fall asleep the whole time. Because, exactly, Josh Boss. Because I'm telling you, that was strategy. It was all strategy. The whole thing. Ask why. Why were they sitting there at a round table when we're in the middle of a government shutdown? But y'all got time to do this? Exactly. Seen and seen. Cut. Spread love, girl. I wish that was true. Yep. So, aren't they announcing that on Friday? I'm sorry. He out of there. He ain't got that Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah. So here's the thing. As long as you all understand that what happened today at that round table was a setup, it was an act. Christy over here, face beat to the gods. Bondi over here, her face beat to the gods. I didn't say it was beat right either, but face just beat to the gods. Makeup on, you ready. Right. Because you all already know. So, all right, y'all. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to make the American people, we're going to sit down and we're going to tell them that this is what it is. And we have to make it believable. We have to make it believable. All right, so I need you to sit to the right of me. I need you to sit to the left of me. All right, Mr. Trump, this is what we're going to do. And 5, 4, 3, 2, boop. See what I'm saying? It's a strategy. They already know what they want to do. They're just looking for, yep, and that's it. So they already know what they want to do. They just have to make the American people, quote unquote, the American people believe it. And who cares if you believe it or not? Because you saw it on the news. You see what I'm saying? I need y'all to check that. Check it for real. Because that's exactly what we just witnessed. And I did see it today. I was just kind of in and out because I was running in and out. But that's exactly what happened today. The whole tap dance that Bondi did yesterday in front of the committee meeting and how she talked to people and did all kinds of stuff like that. They should have escorted her ass up out of there. It's all a strategy. Do not think for a moment that they're not already planning out the next phase of what they want to happen because it's already in action. Today, it was very disgusting, Space Ranger. I was absolutely mortified. I thought, who in the hell left the gate open on this woman? What's going on? Like, what are we doing? Exactly, Shell Bell. Exactly. So I just definitely wanted to kind of put that out there, that this is what's going on. Do you think they could hit a boy who cried wolf, Epiphany? I'm trying to understand that. I think we're already seeing the beginnings of it, Cindy. Yeah, and here's the thing. Behold a pale horse. I read that in college. I did. Thank you, Shell Bell. Yep, and that's okay. Because we still the people. We still the people. Yeah, she refused to answer anything and attacked every person asking questions. Yes, and they let her do it. They let her do it. She couldn't. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. I'd have been like, girl, you can go on with that. I'd have got up out my seat and got in her face. That's how come people say, you need to run from. No, I don't. I don't. Medea needed to be there. Yeah. Soon as they digitalize our currency, they got total control. And it's coming, because you know they're doing it in Vietnam. They shut down 85,000 Vietnamese bank accounts because they refused to take the digital ID. Administration of Transparency and answered no questions. She's an absolute embarrassment. But let me explain something to y'all. One thing we have to understand with this entire situation that's currently going on, I'll say it once, I'm gonna say it again. How many of y'all already know what I'm gonna say? Whatever begins, ends. Yes, I have. I have heard of the Herzog Foundation. I have. Whatever begins, ends. So 85,000 bank accounts were shut down. The people can't access their bank accounts because they refused the digital ID. It's happening in the UK too. So you can't shop. You can't. What else can't you do in the UK? You can't shop. You can't get paid. You can't go to work. You can't purchase anything. Yeah. So D Murph, you know what I'm talking about. They rolled it out in the UK. Yep. Now we have the real ID, folks. Ours is a little bit different. It's only to work the ATM. Yes, but in Vietnam, it's a little bit different. People didn't want it. They were like, no, you don't need that much access to me. Federal employees required to use direct deposit. Yeah. Thank you, Carrie Harris. I appreciate you. Digital ID versus real ID. Real ID, you know, it has a little star in the corner. Now, I'm sure that it's some kind of, I'm gonna have to do some research on it to figure out like what's the difference between the two. But I know some states actually have the digital ID where you can actually carry it on your phone. So if you're ever asked for it, you can just pull it out on your phone. I have a problem with that. You're hired in May by the Department of Labor. Okay. It already is The Handmaid's Tale. It's just ridiculous to me. Long time fan of the Vietnam Meal Leaders karaoke. Yeah, it's happening. Now that's not happening in this country. That has started to happen in Vietnam and some in the UK. Those are the only two places that I've heard or read rather about the digital ID. So also a lot of things that are happening in the US. There's a ton of other stuff that's happening around the world. The constant protests of Gaza, what's happening in Gaza, the information that's coming out about October 7th, and alleged plans that were that it was a setup, and that Hamas didn't even know about the event that was happening in Israel on October 7th, officially now 3 years ago. So I don't know how true that is. Of course, I'm going to have to dig and do some more research to see, but that's starting to come out as well. MSTL begins with women losing access to their money. I just this moment realized my entire career was a sham and I helped no one. Well, I mean, you learn something though. control chaos, whatever it was, whatever your career was. You're late to the game. We need digital. No, Carrie Harris. Let me explain. This is only in Vietnam and it's only in the UK. So the other things that are happening around the world right now, we're seeing, ooh, I sound like my mama. Rumors of wars, and everything going on. We know what's happening in Sudan. Yeah, I learned about that today. And I try to hold things close to me until I do further research. But this source, she's pretty doggone reputable. We ain't even going to talk about Candace Owens today. Did y'all see her? And she said that she started to hand off her stuff in terms of documents and things that she has, because if anything happens to her, it needs to already be handed off. And now she knows that Kanye West was not the crazy one. Y'all didn't see that? Now, let's be clear. I am not a Candace Owens fan. She played herself with me years ago with her young self Pope thing. Yeah, she said that today. But she put out a video today stating, Carol Sue, I have been following her and I refuse to unfollow because I need to see what this thing's saying. So sometimes I follow people just to see what they're saying so I can come back and report it. Kanye was talking about how he was being controlled. And I'm seeing that too, Hard Pass. Yep. I'm seeing that too. Like, I think her eyes are opening. I still don't trust her as far as I can throw her, but I do see where she's, and I think what happened with Turning Point's leader and so forth, you notice I'm not trying to say any names, but what I'm saying is I definitely heard today the fear in her voice for the first time. Yep. And I'm not going to say I felt sorry for her, but I was like, you know what? Hold on. This is what I felt. That's what I felt. I'm just saying. No, Cora, let's talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Girl, let me tell you. No, ma'am. Marjorie is up for re-election. Yes. Right. She could join the ranks with Omarosa, right? You want one? Girl, has to find them. I'll have to make sure that we all have one of these, because it sits at my desk every day. It even comes with a little stand and its own bow. See that? Isn't it cute? Right here. And you every once in a while, when I don't have any more shits to give, I pull that out because you played yourself. So that was, but even though I'm going to be honest with you, I do see her grow, and I have been kind of peeking in at her podcast. I don't watch the whole thing, but I got that at Marshall's, honestly. And I go back often to see if they have any more. They don't. And I had actually, when I saw it, I was like, oh, I gotta get this. I didn't even care. I was just like, this is a must. And I brought it on to the house. Not at all, Flo. I 100% agree. No, not to be trusted. But she said that today. I said, she said, what? She's going to have to do what? Turn her stuff over and her insurance papers and everything over. She said, because if anything ever happens to me, those documents and information that I have and messages, and she said something about, people trying to ruin her financially and so forth with threats and da-da-da-da-da. She's starting to turn all that stuff over. It's paid for itself. Yes, it has, Cheryl. Yeah, and she's talking about what she's found. Yeah. Yep. It was the judge whose house was set on fire. Yes. Let me tell you why I haven't talked about that. Because nothing is concrete yet. It's a lot of stuff I want to say, but I need to be careful. I am too, Space Ranger. Yeah, they have said it's arson. They have absolutely said it is arson. But I'm not speaking on it. There are y'all, when I tell you my emotions get the best of me sometimes. Hey, Linda, how are you? But it is an ongoing investigation. Thank you, Cheryl. And so I choose not to touch things that are ongoing, that I cannot verify through sources, phone calls, emails, doing my own due diligence, digging through, references and so forth. If I can't, I don't touch it. Yeah. Hey, Athena, how are you? Yeah, they said it was arson. Sure did. Exactly. Suspicion is not facts. Yep. And that's the thing. And protect the life. Yeah. And so I have to be careful. Number one, because I have learned something very valuable. My children are starting to get text messages from their friends. So my daughter, she sent me a message and she was like, you need to stay off of the internet. I was like, what's happening? She goes, stay off the internet. Let me see, what does it say? I meant to text you last night. Is your mama viral on TikTok? I think I watched one of her videos. And so I get messages like that from my adult children. And it's so funny because it's like, what did y'all think? Your mama was sitting at home knitting? No, we're not doing that. I'm out here in these streets. Listen. So y'all, really quick, let's go over our Congress people for today, shall we? Because y'all know I'm trying to do my voice nice now. I'm trying to be nice. Listen, yes, I'm in these streets. Y'all know what it is. For real. Where are my notes? Here we go. So now if you're new here, one of the things that we do is we do an educational piece at night. And because I didn't do the day shift because I was with a client this morning, I went on ahead and we covered the news today. Even though, y'all, did you get some snacks in while we was here? I ate a couple of these. And I really don't want to chew down because I'll be smacking on this right here. These Rolos. You out? Yes, honey, outside. For real. I be in these streets. I'm usually here about 11:30ish or so. And I stay for about, you had your popcorn, girl? Yes. And then this comes with a set of 8 in a little box. Because I'm that girl. I'm a planner girl. And I need to clean up again. It's terrible. Hey, Laura, how are you? So anyway, we need to learn and educate ourselves so we can fight for ourselves. Yeah, and the best way to do that is to do what? Learn. We have been covering the Constitution. I have encouraged you guys, and I still encourage you guys to get you one. Boom. Understand who your Congress people are, your Senate. Understand that there are 435 people who are in your Senate, and there are, is it 200 Congress people? Hold on. Boom. What is in the Constitution? There's your preamble. Okay. And Congress is made up of the legislative branch, which is your Congress. Congress makes laws. It's comprised of your Senate and your House of Representatives. Then you have the executive branch, which is your president and his cabinet. Rules for electing the president, voting, XYZ, all of that falls under there. Then you also have the judicial branch. And then the unofficial fourth is the media, which has been under attack. But I definitely wanted you guys to know that and why it is so importante for you to understand what is happening. So let's dig deep into who our senators are. Last night we started way back at the beginning again, and we started with Alabama. Tommy Tuberville. Yep, 535 total. Yep, you got it. It's 435 and then 100. Tommy Tuberville is a Republican. Katie Britt is a Republican. Katie Britt took AIPAC money. That's all you need to know. Alaska. Lisa Murkowski is a Republican, and Dan Sullivan is a Republican. Okay? What we're going to do is we are going to head on down, come on down, and we're going to be talking about who those two people took their coins from. And we're going to break it down. Why is this important? Because you need to know who these folks took coins from. Why is that important? Because some of these PACs and these super PACs are companies that you either you work for or you spend your money with. And that could be a problem, especially if they're not voting for your best interest. Because you got to remember this, and let's put this in perspective. Stop begging these folks to do their damn job. If you are a manager, if you're a supervisor on anybody's job, you need to pay attention to what your people are doing so that the job gets done, right? So if you're a manager or a supervisor and you select the people to come and work on the job, ain't that what you do when you vote and you vote people in? Oh, but let's go down the rabbit hole. Ready? Let's talk about our two senators for tonight for Alaska. Because again, we are going to go, it's telling me to shake my head. Why? Okay, because of the birds. Okay, Anchorage, Alaska Democrat won the mayoral race. Yes, they did. Yes. Hey, Sandy. How are you? All right, so here we go. Lisa Murkowski. She was reelected in 2022. All right, now, here's what she campaigned on. You need to know this. Bipartisan, Alaska First brand, pitched herself as the senior deal maker who landed money for ports, roads, and broadband in the 2021 infrastructure law. Protecting abortion rights, one of the few GOP senators who promised to codify Roe v. Wade and ran ads saying so after Dobbs. Fisheries, energy, and native issues, highlighting chairing NER and Indian Affairs subcommittees, plus opposition to Pebble Mine. Keep Alaska's new ranked choice voting system, backed the 2020 initiative, and urged voters to retain it. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'm just now coming back. Yep, I had to take like a month off because I was talking. Right. So the first thing is if y'all don't know, I'm a vocalist first, singer, and I don't know how to bring it down. So when I talk, I come from here, and it was impacting because it was impacting my larynx because I was going live twice a day for 2.5 hours each. That's a lot of time. So we was doing it in the morning and then in the evening. So you notice I'm bringing my voice down because I have to learn how to control that. It was bad. It was really, really bad. So I had to take like 1.5 months off to kind of take care of myself. And then I started coming back and doing the news. So there's my truth. I'm sticking to it. All right, here we go. Let's finish talking about Dan Sullivan. So Dan Sullivan was reelected in 2020. Thank you for that spread, love. Here we go. Jobs, energy, and security is what they ran on. Hey, wealthy women lifestyle. Come on in here, Nicole. How you doing, girl? All right. Pledge to expand oil, gas, and critical mineral projects while fighting Pebble Mine if science isn't right. Military muscle equals Alaska jobs. Touted the F-35 bed downs, missile defense upgrades, and the Arctic strategy. He wrote on armed services. Conservative values in Trump alliance, ran with Trump's endorsement and promised, listen to this, judges who'd protect the Constitution. Rural broadband, fisheries, relief, and PFAs, cleanup, localized ads on COVID aid and water contamination fixes. Now, sit down. We're going to tell you who gave Lisa Murkowski for her campaign. Let me tell you why, again, this is important. When you don't have any money, you cannot advertise properly. Thank you for that, Nicole. When you don't have any money, you cannot advertise properly. Remember, we just talked about advertising, marketing, and getting the word out and people seeing you repeatedly. So when they go into the ballot box, your name pops up and they go, oh, if I don't know anything else, I know that person's name. May not even know what they ran on, but at least you remember their name. And if they don't have enough resources monetarily, they cannot access you. Okay? Now, ConocoPhillips, the Spirit PAC, gave her money. It's a corporate PAC for them. What is a PAC? PAC, Political Action Committee. PAC, Political Action Committee. Now, who is ConocoPhillips Spirit PAC? It's a multinational oil and gas producer. They elect lawmakers. Listen closely to this. How do they elect lawmakers? By greasing their pockets so they can get them in office. To do what? To promote the development of America's oil and natural gas resources and oppose new drilling bans or methane restrictions. Why they cared about Murkowski? Murkowski chaired the Energy and Natural Resources Committee and controls permitting language vital to Alaska's North Slope projects. Make sense? The next one that gave her money, Duke Energy, Edison, electric utility PACs gave her money, investor-owned power companies. And we're talking about Alaska, all those natural resources, of course. Push looser EPA rules. Protect fossil generations. Win federal support for grid upgrades. Murkowski's committee also writes grid security and transmission sections of energy bills. And that's why they went into her pockets. You got it, Lulu. She took APAC money. Single candidate super PAC. That was another one. So let's go back to APAC, membership ideological, right? 5 million self-identified pro-Israel voters and donors get together and give money. Secure the U.S.-Israel relationship. Remember them 250 people I asked that question? I already knew why they were there and what had happened. I just wanted, Carol Sue said, wind is free. Good for you, spread love. And see, this is Miss Brooklyn. Hey, good evening. This is what they don't want you to do. Remember, critical thinking is your form of resistance. Because if you don't know this, you can't make better decisions when it comes to your state. Okay? Murkowski sits on defense appropriations and publicly backs Iron Dome and U.S.-Israel R&D. But witchy girl, also be excited and empowered that now you know. Athena, we'll talk about that. I'll put that on my list for tomorrow. If I can find a pen. I'll put that on my list for tomorrow. Let me see. I think we've talked about that. So much stuff we talk about. All right, so there we go. All right, so Senate Leadership Fund and Alaskans for Lisa, single candidate super PAC, homestead, oil, tourism, and hedge fund billionaires spend $5 million on TV, mail to blunt a Trump-backed challenger, selling Murkowski as independent pro-choice Alaska first. Make sense? Now, that PAC was created solely to keep her seat in the new ranked choice system. So somebody did that just to give her more money for more advertising. Senate Leadership Fund, that's a GOP super PAC. First line of defense to protect the Republican Senate majority. Did you hear what I just said? They gave her money so that she could do additional advertising and marketing and get people out in the streets so that they could keep the Republican Senate majority. Financed with 8- and 9-figure checks from energy, finance, and mega donors. Bought $5.8 million in ads, boosting Murkowski and attacking her opponent, Kelly Tshibaka. One Nation is a 501c4 dark money partner to SLF, nonprofit that mobilizes voters for pro-growth policies, lower debt, stronger defense. Ran persuasion mail and digital to moderates, shares donors staff with SLF, which is the Senate Leadership Fund. PAX is PAC, political action committees. Those are the organizations that get together and they file with the FEC to create these PACs, which are groups of organizations or companies, and they fuel funds into candidates that have their best interests at heart. Right? That's what a PAC is. That's as simple as I think I could put it, right? And then there's the super PAC. Super PAC is very similar. However, they can give more money. That's it. Rich clubs of people who give money to campaigns. No, it is not. It is not unlimited giving through a PAC. I think it's like 5 or 10 grand that they can give at one given time. And super PACs give more. Yes. Correct. So this is stuff that you all need to know. So when you're sitting here, you're super excited about the person that is somebody that you're interested in voting in. Go to some of their town halls while they're out here shaking hands and kissing babies and on the campaign trail, and get on that mic and ask them who you get your money from and see if they lie to you. Because guess what? It's public information. Like Elon Musk did for Trump to have people knock on doors to vote for him. Yeah. That's all you got to do. That's why I say start local. Where'd you get your money from? Because real talk, all you got to do is let's go out here and let's look it up. It's not hard to find. So bottom line is Murkowski's cash pipeline is dominated by resource sector corporations and the McConnell-aligned outside network, with a sprinkling of mass membership issued PAC money, APAC, that's Israeli-based, and very little of it was small money. Why doesn't the opposition explain the purpose of monies opponents receive? Because they get money too. It just depends on how much. And they're hoping, Cora, that people like you and I aren't doing things like this and sitting at the dining room table in the brownstone. That's what they hope in. All they want to do is send those little mailers in your mailbox. They want to send the mailers in the mailbox, and they want to inundate you with local, ads in your radio station. And now, even on your cell phone, now you get text messages from people you ain't never met because they buying your phone number from a list. You get it? But it is public information. Let's talk about Senator Dan Sullivan. He got PAC money from Trident Seafoods. It's a wild catch seafood company. It's the largest in the U.S. Fights tariffs on seafood, presses for generous disaster relief and federal dredging funds. So how do you run for Congress and be more honest? That's a good question. Senator Mike Murphy might have gotten close. Sullivan brands himself the fisherman's senator, wrote the CARES Act seafood aid, and sits on commerce subcommittees that oversee NOAA fisheries. That's why they touted him. They gave him money for that. Exxon, Chevron, and other oil patch PACs, integrated oil majors, got together and they gave him money. Yep, AOC as well. Preserve drilling tax breaks, speed Arctic leasing, curb methane rules. So you see all of these big oil companies that want those natural resources in Alaska are giving them money because of what they stand for. And they're giving them chunks of cash so that they can get out there and to campaign. Sullivan's 2020 slogan was Jobs, Energy, Security. He co-sponsored the 2020 Arctic OCS leasing bill. Senate Leadership Fund, the SLF, National GOP Super PAC. And that's so that they could keep the GOP Senate the majority, right? One Nation. It's another Senate leadership fund. It's a 501c4, same debt, defense, deregulation agenda as the SLF, but it is framed as a citizen advocacy. You see how slick they are? They real slick, yes. Flooded rural radio and mailboxes with tell Senator Sullivan to keep fighting for tax cuts. So here's your homework, if you so choose to accept it. Start paying attention to your local elections, and also as we're revving up for 2026, and start really reading those ads that come in your mailbox. Start really paying attention to the ads that are coming through your social media feed. Start screenshotting them and going back and doing your research on these people. Because sometimes you'll see like paid for by citizens or paid for by blah, blah, blah. Those are the PACs and the super PACs they're talking about. Yeah. So Sullivan's donor mix is even more resource heavy than Murkowski's is actually. Oil and seafood together make up his top PAC sector, and his outside air cover is almost entirely the McConnell SLF network of money, whose true source is large corporate and billionaire checks rather than everyday Alaskans. So what does that tell you? They probably not for the everyday Alaskan. APAC is exactly that. It's funded by the taxpayers, which are us. And not only that, when you sit back and you look at it, you look at companies like Lockheed Martin, and you're looking at all of these others where people, they can't wait to get out of college or whatever. And then they're working in these plants and stuff. And I know people personally that work at the plants and make the propellant, we're going to call it that. And it says the shipping box has Israel on it. And I had to tell them where it was going and why. And they were devastated. This is about 6 months ago. They had no idea. Because you're making good money. You're doing your thing. You're chilling. You're getting off work. You're clocking out. You can take care of your household. And this whole time, this company has major contracts to do what they're doing. Isn't that something? Isn't that crazy? This is what happens when we're not doing our due diligence. And I'm just as guilty. So this is not a beat up on anybody. This is so that we can hold ourselves personally accountable, because we can no longer say that we didn't know, because now you got a choice on whether you're going to sit here and learn, or not so much here, but go somewhere else and learn what you need to learn so that we come up out of this, because we're coming up out of it. That's it, Lulu. Let's catch up together. That's really what this is about. This is not to beat up anybody. First of all, we need to remain informed. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is making sure that we have as much information when we're going into this next election season. And also paying attention to a strategy, a chess move that is literally happening in our faces right now. And we talked about it. That roundtable was a chess move, baby. That was planned. That was planned. They turned the cameras on for that. They had scripts and everything. Yeah. That's it. You best believe that was planned, and they already know what the next phase is going to be, because it's already what is the setup for the Insurrection Act to be invoked. Correct. And we need to learn how to come together. You are absolutely correct. They playing chess while we playing checkers. And here's the thing. At the end of the day, we've learned a couple of things. We've learned that Antifa is not what? It's not an organization. It means anti-fascist. Well, honey, if we're not careful, and see, that's why I keep saying this one thing. Stand down. And I know it's hard. I know it is. Yeah, girl, we talked about that. Honey, I pulled out the snacks for that. Huh? Let me do it for you again. How does Stephen Miller look? I had to do it one more time. I'm sorry. Corn nuts, because I didn't have any popcorn. Corn nuts. Yeah. So those are some things that we definitely got to keep keep our eye to the ground. And going forward, when y'all seeing stuff like this, just a deer in headlights, honey, just looking crazy. All I keep hearing is, yes, I see you. You see me. Yeah, I see you. We sitting up here looking like two big Barneys. I mean, because that's what it was. But anyway, every day when we're watching what's happening, a couple of things that we should absolutely reference is this: Project 2025. I need us to reference that, because it'll tell you that's their playbook. So it's going to kind of tell you what their next steps are. Okay. Now we may not know, but one of the things that they definitely want to do is to invoke that Insurrection Act of 1807. And by saying that Antifa is a terrorist group, they can make their case. And literally what they did today was in front of the American people with the TVs and the lights, camera action and all that. They're making their case, and they're not done. They're not done. So my point is not to keep, bashing your head over with that, but keep playing. You have to laugh to keep from crying. That's what my mama used to say all the time. But yeah, start paying attention to the strategies that they're utilizing once you take a look at what's next in Project 2025. So you already know what I'm getting ready to do, right? Come on over with me. The Project 2025.observer before we wrap for the evening. Currently, there are 318 total objectives to Project 2025. Okay? Here's what I need y'all to know. 48% of the entire project is completed. And it ain't even been a year. Hey, Tiffisms. I love it. One just got approved. Another one got approved. Department of the Interior approved the Ambler Road project proposal for a 211-mile industrial access road and is intended to facilitate the development of at least 4 large-scale mines. And when I go over to the Department of Interior, first thing that pops up, because of the federal shutdown, DOI is not being updated and will not be available to respond to inquiries until appropriations are enacted. Project 2025.observer. That's where you can go, Carrie. And you can see it for yourself, dear. I'm always happy to share that information so people can't ever say that they didn't know. Now, when you go to project2025.org, the actual Heritage Foundation's actual document, it's on page 530. Yep. Alaska. Let me see. Alaska. And it's funny, that's the state that we're talking about tonight. A new administration must take the following actions immediately. Approve the 2020 National Petroleum Reserve Alaska Integrated Activity Plan. Reinstate the 2020 Arctic National Wildlife Refuge Environmental Impact Statement. Approve the 2020 Willow EIS, the largest pending oil and gas projection in the United States in the National Petroleum Reserve Act of Alaska, and expand approval from 3 to 5 drilling pads. Exactly, Lulu. The Inuit will be impacted. I ain't make this up. It's on page 530 of the Heritage Foundation's Project 2025 document. This was completed on October 6th. We are officially 48% complete. Department of State completed September 26th of this year, freeze allocation of resources, foreign aid disbursements, and hiring and recruiting decisions. It is free knowledge. No, Rubio froze all foreign aid spending. Congress approved rescission package. Remember that? Clawing back $7 billion in foreign aid. We talked about that when it was getting ready to happen. Supreme Court allowed Trump to use pocket rescission to cancel over $4 billion in aid. And since then, court orders have partially blocked it. That's on page 174 of Project 2025. You're in Arkansas, we shop? Mm-hmm. Yep. Knowledge, Samantha. We start there. We start paying attention to the strategies. We start listening to folks who've seen this happen before. Oh, you're near Central Little Rock. Oh, okay. Yeah. Knowledge. Because he doesn't like the gainfully educated. With fracking. Correct. And that's what's happening here. So basically, whatever these folks want, because they want to be able to do all the drilling and all the mining and stuff like that, they just put it in the document. And this isn't new information, y'all. They gave it a name. They've been around since right before the Reagan administration. They admitted in the prologue that they've been a part of each one of the presidencies in some form. Gerrymandering midterms in Ohio for 2026. Look at that. So what I'm telling you is that tonight, I wasn't expecting that, but October 6th, another thing for Project 2025 was completed. Now, let's see. USAID is 100% completed. 6 objectives. Okay. They wanted to cut the budget of USAID, rescind USAID policies, prohibit USAID from funding reproductive health, prioritize funding for faith-based organizations. Did y'all hear what I just said? Evangelical Christian organizations, by the way. Cut international disaster assistance funding for programs for Yemen, Syria, and Afghanistan. That is correct, Shay. Eliminate chief diversity officer at USAID. Remove DEI requirements. Eliminate funding for partners that promote discriminatory DEI practices. That was eliminated January 25th. He hadn't been in office 5 days. 100% complete. And here's what I want us to understand in all of this. We sitting up here mad at each other. We sitting up here mad at each other. Okay. Full steam ahead, Pam. Yep. April, I am at project2025.observer. That's where you can go. Supposed to be hope. Yep. Separation of church and state. Yep. And so here's the thing. I'm just here to provide the information. What you do with it is your business. I would disseminate this information because your information and your knowledge is definitely your power. And I'll say it once, I'll say it again. Your critical thinking is a form of resistance. That's it. Checking it off, girl. 48% complete. And it's not even a year. And one of the actual authors of it said he was pleasantly surprised he was moving as fast as he is. Ain't that something? And you all should be fear. I don't care if you left or you right, if you in the middle. I don't care. It's wrong. It's wrong how they have treated immigrants, whether documented or undocumented. It's wrong when you're going into people's communities and you have people bungee jumping off of the side of their buildings to get into these people's homes. Sandy, they thought we was crazy, but here we are. Here we are. And that's okay. We're not here to beat each other up over it. We're not here to say, I told you so, even though we told you so. The only thing we can do now is to continue to educate ourselves and prepare. Prepare, prepare, prepare. Prepare. Yep, we did. Stay prayed up. We did. We told it. People thought I was too. By getting the information that we have. Because some of us didn't know this information until tonight. I didn't know that they had passed another portion of Project 2025. So I just pulled it up. So that means I'm not doing my due diligence fast enough. That round table today, gang. That's gang. They building their case. They already know. They already know what they want to do. Which portion? Sure. Let me pull it back up. I do not have a problem doing that before we wrap. Project 2025 .observer. 48%. You got it. So here it is again. This is what they just closed as of October 6th. Approved the Ambler Road project. It is a proposal for a 211-mile industrial access road and is intended to facilitate the development of at least 4 large-scale mines. Where? Alaska. It is. We shocked. I would agree with that. It's happening in real time. And it feels like somebody's taking like a handful of these corn nuts and they just throwing them at you. Just, you know what I mean? And the news lines are absolutely crazy right now, but do not be distracted. Yep, it's moving ahead like a freight train. But what we can do is continue to remain diligent. And the biggest thing that we need to understand is that they are still removing documented and undocumented immigrants en masse. They are still being locked up. Let us not forget that. They're still being locked up. Okay? In chains. Now they're in our communities. Full-blown authoritarianism is happening right now. 800 of them were identified as being in Texas, April Lynn. 800 of that 1,200 have been identified. Where those others are have still not been identified. And attacking U.S. citizens as well. What we need to do is a couple of things. Remain informed, stay informed. If you don't know, do your due diligence, do your research. Come here often. Now, sometimes I'm not going to always be able to do either the day or the night shift, but I'm trying my best because I have clients during the day sometimes, but I don't have anything wrong. I know they got up out of Oregon and it still feels shaky. Yeah. And thank you all for being here. You don't have to be here. You could be somewhere else. You could be here somewhere else. You could be somewhere else. Now, we're going to remember now we're supposed to be coming up with a song, y'all. I am brownstoneworldwide.com is my website, brownstoneworldwide.com. We also have Cityscape Radio. What's going on right now? Jazz. So Jazz is on the air right now. And then, Carol Sue, thank you for that. And then also Brownstone Living Magazine. Don't let me forget. I am putting the link to the magazine in my stories and also in my Stare store. Okay, so you guys can grab that if you want. It is a free digital magazine that you can certainly check out. I will encourage you guys in a couple of days, probably by the weekend, we're going to go ahead and put our merch up as well. This helps me to take care of my little team of 4. And also it helps us to do the research that needs to be done for you guys. So we stay afloat. So there's that. So if you ever feel inclined, you want to purchase some, by all means, do that. So, and we still appreciate you, no matter if it's a coin or if it's a like or if it's a share. That does absolutely help us. Because here's the truth. This is what I do full time. Yep. Oh yes, it's what we do full time, and we're working on some other things so that we can continue to do this further, and to really, really, really get serious. And let me explain something, y'all. I got to make sure my people eat before I do. Oh wow, Lulu, I'm honored. Hawk and Tabitha, those my people. Yeah. Thank you, Cora, for the follow. We appreciate it. Thank you, Lady Valen. We appreciate that. So listen, again, brownstoneworldwide.com. And so I always say this, part of my dust, because 4 people is not enough for how massive what we're doing is. But we try. We do definitely try. We update the news every 6 hours. Don Lemon. All right, amen. I received that. Let me see what else. Oh, and like I said, Cityscape Radio. We have our new season starts up in next week for Cityscape. Our podcasters will be returning. So we have Marshawn Olanio, who is a part of our team. We have Dr. Michelle Josie. We have Nicole Johnson, not Nicole Walters. Y'all take that back. Nicole Johnson with Wealthy Women's Lifestyle. She was just in here. We have The Real on Parenting. We have DJ Tony Sanchez. And we also have myself and Heather Asiyambi with a show called The Rivalry Report. Yeah. You can head over to Brownstone Worldwide on YouTube. We're over there as well. And we're also a part of Substack. I got to finish setting that up as well, and pay a little bit more attention to it, because I'm the one that manages that one completely. But yeah, we're pretty much everywhere. We're on Meta as well. But I encourage people to follow my personal page more so than I do our independent ones, because until I'm able to hire someone to manage those pages, they really don't get managed well. So follow me on Meta if you want to do that as well, because I'm over there too. And I'm on Fanbase. We everywhere. We really are. We're on Bigo. Yeah, and LinkedIn as well. So yes, I have. Carol Sue, yes, I have. Someone posted that you on Insta. Yep, I am. Oh, what? Spin the top. That's how you found me? Yeah, we are. I am. Yep. I started on Instagram when I remember my first Instagram post was when Instagram was nothing but pictures. I've never forgot. I had this little tablet, and I took my first picture. It was a side profile when I had really long dreads. And my dreads, I had sister locks, and they were super long, and I had them pinned up, and I thought I was fabulous, honey, because I was going to take that picture. And that picture's still there. And my Instagram has never really grown. It never has. So I don't spend a lot of time there, but I am on Threads as well. And it just, anyway, enough of that. But that's where you guys can find me. I appreciate that. Spin the talk. I appreciate it. But listen, I got to get ready and go because it's 10:15. And I got to finish up and load that link. So y'all start looking for that. And y'all remember this, no matter where you're paying attention from, remember, we are at the dining room table. The day is done. We have cooked dinner. We are chilling. We sipping a little cognac, whatever, water, whatever you got, puffing on a little something. If that's what you do, no matter what it is, that's you. You know what I mean? We put the kids down, and this is our time to just kind of chill out, get the information that we need so that we can prepare for the next day, right? That's the first thing. The next thing is making sure that we're remaining informed with each other and holding ourselves. Good night, Athena. You have a good evening. Holding ourselves accountable to ourselves and no one else, and then coming together as a collective. My meta name is my first name. You can kind of figure out the rest because I look the exact same in the picture. Search me by my first name. You'll find me. Because I got on a pair of glasses and my hair is braided, I think. Yeah. So anyway, here's the thing. Yeah. So I'll be sharing the magazine link. We've got 2 amazing doctors on the cover of Brownstone Living magazine. Doctors Joseph Fowler Jr. and Dr. Brandon K. Williams are on the cover. It was an honor to hang out with those 2 brothers and get their photo shoot done. It was really, really cool. So go ahead and check that out. It's our annual health issue. So go ahead and take a look at that. We've interviewed John Jay. He is a digital artist who made some waves and worked with artists like Exhibit and so forth. So it was really, really cool to talk to him. And he gave us some tips on how to do the thing. All right, folks, listen, I got to get ready to get up out of here. I'm 2 minutes past my time, but I want to thank you once again for coming here and being one of the people in the neighborhood. Thank you so much, Deals with Nia. You have a good night. Take care of yourself. Get some rest. Listen, 3 things that we always like to tell each one of the people in the neighborhood, because you are officially neighbors in the neighborhood. 1, love your life. It is the only one that you have. 2, live your life to the fullest and embrace everything that is your life, because you only get one you might as well enjoy it. And lastly, what? Breathe through every single moment. I want to thank you guys for coming out here and hanging out with me today. We'll see you around.
Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Fernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are welcome in the essence. This broadcast, Brownstone, the light is contagious. But you need go on and receive it for yourself. Just open it, exuberant, evolution, excited. We standing on the foundation of expression. You might have seen, you might have been, or you could have gravitated. Our foundation, we want to create a space for all to collaborate and be liberated from eventually all over the globe. And we are extending a hand to those who are an extension from maybe platforms, dig into another stratosphere. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Fernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. And that is MSG, the message in the message. I can OD on my execution of excellency. And this as a man right now, and things aren't created, but see true.